Hello everybody, it's Merlin here, and I have another little video for you. I feel like lately my mind has been on just the general misperceptions of certain characters in Dragon Ball. One big topic, which has been something that's come up a lot in the Dragon Ball fandom, and I think really just for shonen archetypes in general, is the father dynamic. And this video is basically going to be on Goku as a father and husband. Now, people like to joke and sneer and say that Goku was a terrible father and a terrible husband. Now, I guess you could argue that with Chi-Chi being as difficult as she could be, maybe Goku found excuses to leave his family whenever he could because of that. Some people might like to throw that joke out there, but let's be honest, Goku loved Chi-Chi and he loved her cooking. He would keep coming back for that no matter what. And despite the fact that Goku loves to train and loves to fight, one thing that has been demonstrated throughout the series is that whenever he's able to, he likes to spend time with his family, to spend years with his family actually, just spending some leisure time with them. Really, he likes to just spend his time in the country and just live. You know, for as much as Goku cares about martial arts and fighting and adventure, he's actually just as content to sit back and relax a lot of the time too. In fact, I'd say that's probably something he does a lot of the time. He's probably training on his free time and then spends the rest of it with his family doing whatever he can. In his, simple ways, he tries to be a good father to Gohan. And whenever he is around him, he tries to encourage him to go to school, like Chi-Chi says. I mean, he kind of assumes what she knows is best. He might not necessarily always get behind it, but I think deep down he knows what the best is for Gohan. But he also obviously knows that Gohan is his son, and he has the ability to train and be powerful and make a difference, and so he tries to encourage him there too. Admittedly, it is a pretty big revelation towards the end of the Cell arc that when Piccolo kind of yells at Goku and says, "Goku, you've been pushing Gohan all this time, trying to make him into you. He's not you. He's a different person." And Goku kind of realizes he has kind of been blinded by the fact that Gohan is his son and just assuming that Gohan would want everything that he would want. But Goku does have this revelation, does take this understanding, and says, "Okay, Gohan, maybe you can't handle this. Maybe it shouldn't be fully your responsibility. Maybe I pushed you too hard and expected too much of you." And that's okay. He tries to actually butt in and say, maybe we can all join in and fight Cell and Gohan doesn't have to carry this burden alone. Now, of course, Gohan does eventually rise to the challenge, admittedly with their help, after his father's sacrifice, but that's not the point. Goku, admittedly, because he spent so much time away from his son, maybe he didn't know him quite as well as he could. And I think, admittedly, some people might try to say this is an example of why Goku is a bad father. I would actually argue the opposite, because in this moment, this revelation, he actually does something which I think a lot of parents might have difficulty facing, realizing their children aren't exactly like them, and maybe they shouldn't push them in one direction or another, just encourage them. And Goku takes this into himself and tries to rectify this. Now, of course, the potential he saw in Gohan was warranted, but he also realized that he might have been pushing him a little too hard and being blinded to the fact he didn't know his son. Now, one big reason for this is not necessarily because Goku doesn't care about his son, or doesn't want to be involved with his son's life. A lot of people joke that he just wasn't around that much. Look at the series you're watching. Admittedly, Goku might not be the most responsible person. He doesn't exactly have all the nuances of society down, but I think where it's most important, he does certainly care about his family, and everything he does throughout the series, all the battles he undergoes, all the villains he faces, it is to protect his family, to protect his home, to protect his people. The very idea of anything happening to any of his friends or his family or his planet, his adopted planet Earth, infuriates him and usually gives him the biggest boost of power of all, in stereotypical shonen expectations, but that's the biggest proof right there. And some people might say, oh, well, he wasn't around that much. Well, first of all, he was killed pretty much right at the beginning of the series, once again trying to protect his son, and everybody else, and then every other instance he's either stuck in space for a long time, or he's in the afterlife or some dimension training. Everything he's doing so that he has a home to preserve so that he can come back to it. Yes, he's not perfect. Believe me, I don't think Goku's a perfect father by any stretch of the imagination. But to say that he doesn't care about Gohan at all, or that he doesn't try, or that he doesn't have some of the aspects that make a good parent, I think are completely ridiculous. It's just a basic misconception. Goku, as a father and husband, he's flawed, sure, but he's nowhere near as terrible as some people make him out to be. So I was curious, guys, what do you guys think about the concept of Goku as a father and husband? Let me know in the comments section below, because I'm curious to see what some of your perceptions are about this. I know that there's a lot of different opinions on this one. Alright guys, this is Merlin here, signing off.